Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Elex, Blind. Now, I was about to go back to the domed city, or rather, to the entrance of it, because I found a false ID that I need to gain entrance. This location is full of albs, so I won't be exploring it yet, because obviously I would have no chance of actually surviving there. So let me get back to the Outlaws, outside of the domed city.
Not bad here, is
it? Okay, so the sunglasses actually highlight objects on the ground, which can be very useful because it makes sure that I'm not going to overlook them when exploring. So that's definitely a cool addition to my arsenal, especially because, as I said, I don't have any other headgear for now, so I might as well carry the sunglasses for the time being. Okay, I've explored this tower. I do remember that.
The things our world has achieved that are now lost to us.
Are you serious?
I don't know the guy. Suppose I never will now.
You think you can get a hold of a decent set of ALB components? I can find some shards to cover that. I am going, all right?
Wick is dead, but I found the ID cards on his body.
Dead? Shit. I told him whatever was there wasn't worth the risk. But Wick would do anything if it would mean him getting 2 shards he could tap together. Ah, well, give me the blank ID card. I'll work it up for you now. So, done. 1 fake ID ready to go.
Give me the counterfeit ID.
Okay, wait a second. Your image has to be added there first. So, done. Here's your ID. And this is the ID for Cooper. Take it to him. But make sure the clerics don't see it, see him, or see you handing this over. And do it as soon as you get in there. He's been at risk too long as it is. We don't need him being held, or worse, turned into a vegetable by the suggesters.
Suggesters,
They're always
huh?
hitting on you here.
Spitball of a day, ain't it?
So, is it some kind of a cleric brainwashing process done by the suggesters? Well, I guess I will learn more about that soon enough when I enter the city.
This teleporter is active. It appears to be connected to another near the Hort in Ignidon.
Okay, that's possibly very useful, because it means I can teleport all the way to the cleric's sort of headquarters without the need of actually traversing the road, which obviously I would like to do from an exploration standpoint, but I might be too weak to do from a survival standpoint. So if I'm lacking new quests, I might teleport there and try doing some quests in the city, to gain more experience. But for now, let me get into the Dome City.
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
Well, I am not going to betray them, because first of all, they've done nothing wrong to me. In fact, without their help, I wouldn't be able to get into the city. And second of all, I do want to help their guy. Like, he seems to be potentially in danger, so let's help him get out.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? I thought I knew all the ones that had been issued. And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
Well, this makes no sense, because obviously I can't find my own ID that has been... can't randomly stumble upon an ID that's customized to me specifically. This makes no sense because, again, it contains my picture, so it's mine. It's not my brother's. So I guess I must have misplaced it before.
It's mine. I was issued one after all. Must have misplaced it.
All right. I'll believe you this once. I've got to be wary. That desert gang of outlaws is always trying to find ways to get by me. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately. And Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here, until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
What's happening in the city?
Nothing right now, but it's simmering. You can feel it. There was something building even before we let those Separatists in here. They just lit the touch paper. But hey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary, so someone decided to open the gates and let the Separatists in.
How many Separatists are there in the city?
Too many. Once an alb, always an alb. They still hit Elex. It's just a matter of time before they turn back. I don't know what they want in the city. I'd heard a bunch of them had set up a base in the west of Abessa, so they could have gone there. If we weren't so busy here, we'd have tracked them down and cleared them out of Abessa. Last thing we need is Zakor thinking we're harboring rebels.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
So it is brainwashing, basically. Reorientation. That sounds kind of sketchy in itself.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
You mentioned the Council of Magalan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
Okay, I'm not going to choose this because it's rather antagonistic towards them. They might take offense to that. Oh, apparently they don't care if I take this. Well, let's do it then.
You have things to do. Go and do them.
Okay, so I will go around the city and try to explore it all. Oh, apparently they don't care about this either. Maybe because it's trash. So there's a flyer in the trash. Let's see what's it about. The way food is given now is different. A cleric order says every citizen of Abessa can get free food from Yorg, starting immediately. Signed, the clerics. Full of errors. Okay, so that's probably some kind of scam. Like maybe they are poisoning people or like testing drugs on them. Whoever wrote that, because I somehow doubt the clerics wrote that. They feel far too sophisticated to write a message full of basic level spelling mistakes.
That is pretty suspicious.
Okay, Paige.
Coming to see me?
Huh. What do we have here? Fresh meat?
You had better not mean that literally.
Go on, growl again. Growl. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Kalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem. Seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your trade ban.
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes. Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from the Separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave this city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
I can broker some kind of an agreement, maybe. It may be profitable for me.
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called ROrik. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find ROrik?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
But I was just there. And he wasn't there.
Did you do something?
Unless it's a different turbine. But first I want to explore all of the city. What about
are
you?
doing here? Hey, you. You don't have any broken energy weapons, chainswords, or anything like that? That sort of thing is my business. So if you find any, bring them to me. I'll give you good prices for them.
Did you flee here from the desert?
Flee? No. But to live in Tavar, you need shards. And despite my talents, I wasn't one of the Duke's favorites, and that made making a profit hard.
What are your talents?
Mechanical and engineering genius. I can make anything you need from bootlaces and glue, as long as I don't get constant interruptions. And staying undisturbed is hard in the Dome City. There's always someone trying to stick their nose in. And those berserkers are the worst for it. One of those assholes killed my friend for fun. Now that bastard is focused on me and nobody's helping me. Even though they know it'll be their turn next, and keeping their head down won't save them.
Who is this berserker that's giving you trouble?
Brabak. A bull of a man and twice as ugly. Bone-breaking bastard.
About Brabak. Where can I find Brabak?
He's usually near the inn. Just follow your nose. If it smells like piss, you found him.
Leave Brabak to me.
You'll deal with him? That would be great, really great. You won't find me trying to put you off that. If you think you can scare him off so he leaves me alone, that would be good. Even if I do, I think ramming a knife into his guts would be a better approach. I would have tried that myself, but if I'd failed. But if you do get rid of him, however you do it, then I will pay you.
Let's trade.
Okay.
What do you have to sell? I do have a hatchet already, so I don't need it. Couple of lockpicks. I am going to buy those. They are always useful. Okay, so you do not have that much useful stuff. Let's continue exploring.
So, you come here from Goliath?
Goliath? No. I was exiled to the valley before I came here, but I hid myself in a crate and got brought up in the lift.
You escaped in a crate?
Yeah, those idiots had no idea I was in there. I waited till they were busy with the next one, slipped out, and I was gone.
You got lucky.
That wasn't luck, that was pure skill.
You were lucky.
Yeah, well, maybe I got luck and skill, but what I haven't got is beer. Feel like one?
Yeah, sure.
Well then, follow me.
Okay, I found another flyer. Is it the same one about the food? Yes.
Another time, yeah?
What's happening in the city?
Well, the Dome City is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, you'd think they'd care less about what faction they were from, but for some reason some of them have got even more fanatical. That makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The Outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like Outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Dome City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
Well, disappear as in die or disappear as in leave? Because they might leave once the other guy is free?
You want the Outlaws in the farm to die?
Whoa, whoa, that's not what I said. I just want them to stop causing trouble for good.
About the Outlaws in the farm.
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst? They who should disappear?
Where are these Outlaws?
They've gathered east of here at an old farm, not far from the city walls. You can't miss them.
Well, I'm not going to kill them, but I might be able to convince them to leave once I help the other guy.
I'm not killing Outlaws for you.
I didn't think you'd have the stomach. So, be on your way. Abessa City can do without you. Carry on.
Well, apparently he's despite his initial protests, he's not interested in other ways of solving this problem that do not involve killing them. Although, once they leave, he might be happy to hear that nonetheless, even if he didn't bring the option up initially. So I guess I'm outside the dome, so that's literally the border of the city. He didn't even ask about my ID. Supposedly you needed to leave as well, not just to enter.
You have things to do. Go and do them.
It is not efficient for us to talk.
I'm going.
Oh, no. I didn't want to do that, actually.
I'll take care of that.
Okay, let them just kill me, because I didn't want to do that, as I said.
Carry on.
Oh, there's a note. Attention, thieves. That's kind of ironic. To find that fly at that particular time. Calling for vigilance against the threat of thieves. Residents of the Dome City, the recent succession of thefts is a threat to us all. Stay vigilant, report suspicious behavior to the authorities, keep your valuables secure, do not trust any stranger, report anything out of the ordinary. Anyone found to be cooperating with the thieves will be punished. Aloys, City Administrator. Okay.
We need to sort things out with those traders and get more supplies in.
Well, if you're sure about that, then okay.
Yes, you can say that, but we need more food first.
The gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant, bounty hunter, or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm not in a faction.
Well, guess you're one lonely son of a bitch then, aren't you? Here, before you start begging for help, consider it a gift from the Duke. You gave me enough that I can share.
I don't really need that.
Keep your charity.
It isn't smart to refuse a gift from the boss. You should learn to appreciate his generosity.
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
What do you have to offer?
Troll dung, rat scab, it's all first-class stuff. Snort it, smoke it, either way. You'll never forget the experience.
Forget it.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
Business? With me?
You see someone else here? Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right. If there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. Now I can see in your eyes that you haven't fallen for the cleric's tricks. You aren't simple enough to believe every piece of troll shit you're fed.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon. While Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
So, what do you think? Should we get involved here?
Don't worry, there's no getting involved. You shouldn't have any trouble finding something out.
I don't have a problem working against the clerics, especially in such a minor degree. To be honest, that's espionage. So technically speaking, that's like, you know, a serious offense in like international law. But I don't hold any particular allegiance to any of the factions at this point. I haven't joined any of them, and the more I hear about the clerics and the outlaws, I am sort of soured on them. Like, the outlaws seem like a bunch of assholes, less of a faction and more of a grouping of selfish pricks. So I'm not really interested in them. And the clerics seem like religious fundamentalists, and also there's been talking about brainwashing and how they have re-education sessions with their suggestors, which implies some kind of a technique that they specifically use to convert people. So I feel it's most likely I will join the Berserkers anyway, out of the three, so I might do it.
How many shards are you talking about?
Enough. The Duke is generous. I pay. That much you can be sure of.
Where can I find Lutz?
If he's not on a call, then he's usually working maintenance on one of the generators. Just walk along the battlement path up at the top. You can't be far.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
Okay.
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
I'm not a reaver.
Then I hope that means you're here to help.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to defuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliad all over again.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliad?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of Elex, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? Elex marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took Elex in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed Elex in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the Elex you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know Elex and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind.
Very good.
Okay, I really hope this is not actually a timed event.
Not sure I believe it.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Are you here to pay me those shards you owe me? Because I'm pissed at how long you're taking to pay.
Well, well.
And also, I'm not sure if I can have two companions, but if I can't, I guess I might rather have her, because I presume she's not a murderer trying to frame other people for what she has done. While Duras actually is. Okay, there's a separatist here.
Hey, you. Hey, it's you.
Yes, Fenk. It's me, Jax.
I heard they shot you down. That you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to Elex. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
Yeah, sure.
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zakor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
Albs who have become refugees in your own war.
This isn't our war. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The Outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The Berserkers, They don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
What goods have you got?
Okay, so he sells alb. He sells alb. What's the name? Spells. I am certainly going to buy the natural Elex because it's used for brewing potions. I do think I have those already, the recipes on how to do that, so there's no point in buying that.
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The Berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and York. They are key to our future.
About the threat of you being thrown out of the city. What is the problem with Caleb and York?
York is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to York. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is York's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if York confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims. They would have no reason to expel us.
Okay, I will
Need to sort things out
back
with
down,
those traders.
I mean go back a little, because I remember there was a workbench somewhere nearby, and I want to see if I can create an Elex potion, if I have the means to do that. You know, the recipe. So this gives attribute points. I can do this, and then a strong Elex drink gives a skill point. Okay, so that's great. I have one, and I need more liquor for this. Let's create 6 of those. Although, no. Let's create 4 of those, because then. Yeah, that's +2 attribute points. Do I want attribute specifically? I think skill points are more valuable. So let's do this for now. And I'm lacking natural Elex. But okay, I did make some progress, I guess, with this. Water bottle. I do kind of need the bottle, the water for one of the quests, so let's just exit this for now and drink the Elex potion to gain the skill point. A large dose of Elex, skill points +1. Oh, it increases my cold if I. Well, I guess that totally makes sense, because that's the process that originally makes you into an Alb, right? Consuming large doses of Elex, but I'm still neutral, so that's, I guess, okay. Now, what skills would I like to learn? What can I learn? Grenades, I guess? Not really that interested in it. Armor could be useful. This could be useful as well, once I up my intelligence. And this. And this, I am interested in creating rings and amulets. Okay, I'll just leave. Cunning. Traders give a discount. That could be useful in itself. Increases combat skills. I'll just leave the point until I actually level up, which I am kind of halfway there. Well, more than that. And then I will consider what to do, with my attributes as well. Nyra's records. Okay, that's very rude to take that, but I am interested in whatever lore it might bring me, so... Living among the free people of the domed city, I realize how much I detest them. For anything they do, they require payment. It has taken persistence to acquire a few primitive tools I have obtained. This would be easier to overcome if it weren't for the emotions I am suffering. Frustration, anger, both unproductive and inefficient. This city is corrupt. It will take strength to survive here and further our cause. Yeah, to be honest, it would be very difficult to adjust to a life that features actual emotions without having felt them ever before in your life.
What do you want from me? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an Alp myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking Elex. That is rare, which makes me question how you did it. May logic guide you.
To be honest, the whole process of Jax going off of Elex is a bit stupid, because it has taken place overnight. Like, he was shot, he was a full-fledged Alp commander, then he was shot and nearly died, and from the next day onward he was like cured of his Elex addiction. Like, that seems a little bit too easy. If it were so easy as to just wait a couple of days, or like a day, literally, then I'm pretty sure most of the Alp Separatists would have gone off Elex. But so that's kind of weird and dumb. Okay, so this is a dead end.
He's been chewing on that thing for days.
Those animals are just getting more and more dangerous.
He always thought he could talk his way around anyone.
She took that secret to the grave.
That is pretty suspicious.
Hey, you're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserker's city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimmar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Oh, right, the lie that I'm telling everyone is that he's dead because he's accused of stealing the Elex, but in reality he's trying to cure his brother of his mutation by the converter, and if he succeeds, then he will reveal that he's actually alive.
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted Elex from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Dome City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
Could he teach me without joining the Berserkers? I doubt it.
I would like to learn Berserker magic.
Well, it's pointless asking me. I didn't manage to learn anything useful before I was exiled. You would have to join the Berserkers. They won't teach their magic to outsiders. But I don't know if I can recommend that in all good conscience. I left, after all. You will have to decide who you want to join.
Yeah, the Berserkers certainly aren't perfect, but to be honest, out of all of the factions for now, I still feel like they are the least unreasonable. So, you know, there is a non-zero possibility of me actually joining them. Okay, that's the tavern, right?
There's near enough Felix out there for that.
Really? Now?
I'm staying out of it.
That's a slot machine, but unfortunately it doesn't work anymore, so I can't play it.
You can forget it, Brabak. I serve everyone here.
Save yourself.
Well, the dude took the fort from bloody Baxter.
By doing what I say.
I call that dangerous.
Let those assholes drink piss from the gutters, and you keep your supplies for the real
That's
people.
all he is.
What do you care who I serve?
Frankly, these should be
still
showing
serve
more
you,
respect.
even though the other people complain about
Not
it.
again.
So you are taking their side, are you?
I'm on nobody's
As he
side.
wishes.
I'm
You should
just
do it.
getting on with my job.
You
Well, the dude took the fort from bloody Baxter.
Reconsider
Don't mess
what?
me around.
One
I'll
wrong
mess
word
with
from
you.
the
It has to happen
cleric
sooner
can
or
throw
later.
you out of the city. So do us both a favor and
Hey,
calm
you
the
don't
hell
have to
down.
believe everything they say.
He's been bothering me with that for
I
days
will
now.
come back.
I hope they
When you do, Make sure you bring
You
some
gotta
shards.
think before you go out and
Sick
do
of
that.
giving
So that
credit,
didn't
and I
work.
need to change, all right?
You think
Hey,
you know what's going on?
Come over
No
here.
one knows what's
Let's
going on.
get a drink together.
What are we celebrating?
Victory over the Alps! Or do you have another reason to celebrate? Because any reason works for me.
Victory over the Alps?
Well, imminent victory. Got to be, hasn't it? Or don't you have any confidence in us? Don't say the wrong thing now. You got to believe if you want to succeed.
Sure, whatever you say.
Drink up. Drink up to the end of our days. Here, my friend, to what's coming. And now, tell me about your glorious deeds. Or have you just been sitting on your ass, letting others fight the beasts of Zakor for you?
Well, I did do quite a bunch of fighting as an alb, but in the game itself, most of what I've done so far is running away. To be honest, both of those answers are kind of antagonistic, but he wanted to hear bragging, so let's give it to him.
I've done more fighting than a barfly like you.
Ha! You have to have balls to challenge me like that. Here, you've earned something to drink.
Why aren't you in a den with the other berserkers?
Fuck the berserkers. I don't have anything more in common with them. They would have exiled me to the valley sooner or later, so I beat them to the punch and left. Fuck them and their laws. You can have it much easier here.
Your reputation precedes you.
Let's just say, that crap-stained skin flap of a man was shooting his mouth off about me, and he didn't have anything better to say about you. It's about time someone pays him a visit. Now, you're the one to do it. That lying shit is telling people I killed a family out in the Badlands. Total fucking bullshit. I killed 5 families out in the Badlands. Parading around out there. Hardly a weapon between them. Like they wanted to die. Those dipshits got themselves killed. And now, Riley spread it all around the dome. He's even got some of the guards believing his yabber. But if someone else would have shut him up, I'd be in the clear, and those guards would be off my back. Take care of him, and I'll make it worth your while.
How about no? Like, this guy is horrible. He just admitted to killing 5 families of people for no other reason than them being there and them being unarmed. He was like, oh, they were unarmed, they were begging to be killed. So, how about no? How about I kill you? But first, let me save, because I don't see myself having actually a chance. But maybe Duras will help me.
You need to learn respect for others.
What? You think I'm a child? So piss off, or I'll give you your head on a plate.
You can try.
I'm gonna give your whore of a mother a reason to cry. Come here.
I have to go.
Really?
Well, so Duras won't actually help me. Which I guess is fair, because technically speaking, it's a duel, right? But I don't think I stand any chance, actually. So, it's definitely kind of problematic. I'm not sure if this is going to be worth it. Like, maybe I can do it, but it would take most of my resources just to defeat him. Which, as I said, I'm not sure whether that is worth it, but I am kind of committed now. And I do have a bit of Elexit. Like, I guess I can recuperate my losses in potions. They are not that expensive, to be honest. and experience is, you know, far more valuable. Okay, I have to be really careful because, to be honest, if I lost now, I would be pretty infuriated. I've invested a lot of time and effort into this fight at this point.
Is the fight over? All right. You've made your point, so leave me alone.
Combat 20? What? Is it even possible to get that many points into a single category? Is there enough skills?
You had better leave people alone from now on.
I got it.
From now on, keep your hands off the outlaws.
And if I don't?
Then you'd better find a bodyguard before I come back for you.
All right, fuck it. You get your wish.
Smart decision.
Okay, I wasn't expecting to win that, to be honest. So, even though it took a lot of potions, and in fact I feel like that kind of maybe wasn't worth it in sort of pure economical terms, I am kind of satisfied that I won anyway.
Hey, traveler, is your throat dry? Are your feet aching? Whatever your problem, I have what you need. One good swig will cure all worries, and that's guaranteed.
I heard about your fight with Brabak.
Forget that guy. Every city has someone like him. You just have to ignore them. Let me know if I can do something for you.
Do you have any news to go with that drink?
News? I presume you're talking about news from in here. I don't hear anything much from the outside now the city gates are sealed. Now, the future of the domed city is the only topic people are concerned about right now. That's pretty much all of the conversation. There's been peace in here for years, but right now, well, we're all set for things to boil over. I don't want to say it's the cleric's fault. It's always easy to blame the people in charge, isn't it? But who else do we blame? The Berserkers, the Outlaws, the Separatists? Me? I find it best not to blame anyone.
How is business?
Now that everyone is paying credit? Roaring. Not many people aren't happy to pay on credit. It's me that's holding the bill and hoping to get paid before I run out of supplies. Speaking of which, do you know where I can get any food supplies? I'll pay real shards to get more food supplies in.
Most people try to earn a profit in your situation, huh?
Try, yeah. Achieving is something different. I'd rather you get the supplies honestly, but if you take them from people who have too much, who am I to question it? But if you steal from those with nothing, then I don't want anything from you. I like to keep things honest.
Nah, I don't really want to steal them at all. I'll try securing an honest deal.
Do you want to trade?
I'll buy a couple of bottles of liquor, like 30 or something. Oh, no, it's quite expensive actually, more like 10. Because it's used for potions? And I'll buy... Whoa! Water costs 100 freaking... Oh, no, that's better. Okay. So...
I don't want anything to do.
Is there anything up here?
Well, the Duke took the fort from Bloody Baxter.
It is all about serious personal dedication to the law.
Not really. This episode has been long enough. So let me stand over here and save. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.